just based on everything that is happening in the news cycles right now, all of the things that we're hearing and learning about, just in terms of the violence that patriarchy really is responsible for. And it's not even just, you know, not even a choice to, put romantic love on the back burner. In a lot of women's cases, it's our sense of safety.
Life or death.
It really is life or death. That's the difference between misogyny and misandry. Misandry, you get rejected. She doesn't want to have anything to do with men. Misogyny, we risk getting killed. And probably you wonder why we chose the bear. Well, this is the reason why we chose the bear. Like, everyone's like, oh, you're gonna die alone. I'm just like, that might be how I get to an old age, is by being alone. Because when you hear cases like Giselle Pellicott, who was married for 50 years, and for the last 10, her husband was drugging her and allowing men to come and her while she's unconscious. If you cannot trust the husband you've been with for 50 years, who the can you trust? That's crazy. It's not an isolated incident. It's not. We are finding out in real time that these are not isolated incidents. Terrifying. Mel, I truly didn't understand. I'm seeing the stories coming out, and has it been this prevalent for a long time? Yes. And it's just like, when you're a 6'5" man, how easy is it to put yourself in the shoes of a 5'2", woman who weighs $130, and just how hypervigilant she has to be about her safety. It's going to be very difficult for you to try to understand, how she has to walk through the world because of how you have been able to walk through the world with that level of privilege. First of all, a lot of women actually want to get a little invisible. They're exhausted from all the unsolicited, unwanted male behavior. Do you know how asexual I am right now? Dating? No, thank you. I'm gonna be at home with my cats, my dogs, my birds, my girlfriends, my TV shows, my work that's fulfilling. I'm gonna be at home and pour into the things that pour back into me, and try to lessen the risk to my life.
So Melyssa Ford's making the rounds again. Now, I talked about Melyssa Ford already in another video. It's interesting. You see all of these women who have lived their lives, most of their lives, immersed in their sexuality, selling sex, promoting sex, or at least promoting intense sexuality. And then they become middle-aged women, and they want to flip the narrative. They want to say, oh, men are just out taking advantage of them, sexually harassing them, mistreating them, and to an extent, I understand what they're saying, what they're talking about. By the way, I'm gonna be turning this vehicle on periodically just to keep this light on. I don't know why it keeps cutting off, but yeah, back to Melyssa Ford. They become these middle-aged women. And they just all of a sudden want to flip the narrative and insist that men are just out here violating them, sexually violating them, things like that. But again, Melyssa Ford spent her entire career immersed in her sexuality, promoting sex, selling sex. Ooh, Miss Seductive Sexy Scorpio. Ooh, like I said already in the original video. Now she wants to become a cat lady. She's talking about her dogs and her cats and stuff. And everyone, you got to realize something. Melyssa Ford is half white. Her mother is a white woman. She was raised by a white woman in Canada, of all places. Toronto. I mean, dude, Toronto? You see, I can see, I get it. There are some women out here who have to do what they have to do to survive. And sometimes that means engaging in sex work or just using their bodies to make a living, specifically their sexuality in terms of their bodies and stuff. But Melyssa Ford, here we go again. Melyssa Ford, she didn't have to do that, man. She's from freaking Canada, dude. It's not grimy out there in Canada. It's not gully out there in Canada. Come on, she's from the same neck of the woods as fucking Drake, dude. Fucking Drake? Let's get real, man. She became a video vixen because she wanted to. She was about that life. See, the thing is, it goes back to what I said, man, Melyssa Ford, she's a half-breed. She's a mongrel, dude. You know, raised white. So when she reached her early 20s and stuff, she wanted to embrace the hood side or whatever, the so-called quote-unquote black side. So she moved to New York and became hood famous. Something she's bragged about, something she's relished. She expressed great joy in her life, her early years as a video vixen, living it up, having sex, doing this, doing that. She lived for it. She loved it. Now that she's older, she wants to be a white woman. That's exactly how she sounds. She sounds like a fucking white lady. That's how white women talk. All of this stuff about, we're the victims and men are going around. Statistics show that they're violating women. They're doing this to women. They're doing that. Victim. This is the white women do this. White women talk like this. Even let's take Amber Rose. Amber Rose is another one. Amber Rose is half white. I think her mom's white or something like that. Amber Rose living it up when she was younger. Miss Sexuality. Oh, there's a na. Yeah, I'm a slut. She founded the slut walk. Come on, dude. She founded the slut walk. She's a proud slut living it up. Now that she's a little older, I don't think she's 50, but she's getting there. Like Melyssa Ford, she's going to be 50 this year. Now, she wants to flip script. She wants to flip the narrative. Oh, I miss prim and proper white lady, Miss Legit. You know, it's crazy, dude. Sound like pink-haired or colored-haired cat lady, white lady, old liberals. That's how they sound. You know, and it's crazy because black women don't do this. Now, to an extent, black women, and you get other women as well, they'll play the victim card. They'll dodge accountability and all this stuff, you know, whatnot. Men dodge accountability as well. I don't want to just make this a video just kind of dumping on women, but men do it too. Well, I mean, this video is focused on women. I don't want to talk about men, but men have a lot of flaws as well, but this is about the women. The women. And in terms of black women, you know, black women, they don't take the route of damsel in distress. Now, yeah, black women, they will dodge accountability. They will play victim and stuff, but they won't go to the extent of saying, oh my God, these men, because that's pretty much what white women do. White women will do all of this crazy stuff, to be coming on to you, all this sexual stuff, then all of a sudden flip script and act like these guys are just jumping out of the bushes, violating them, just popping out of the bushes. Black women don't do that. Black women, yeah, they'll you know, dodge accountability as far as the fact that they chose to have sex with that guy or date that guy or whatever, but they won't go to the extreme of acting like these guys are just popping out of the bushes like monsters, attacking them. Because that's what white women do. Which is ironic because, again, if we're just leaning into stereotypes, because everybody, they like to stereotype black people, right? Everybody likes to stereotype. So let's play the stereotype game. Stereotypically speaking, white women are easy. White women are easy. Anybody that's ever been to freaking college, dude, especially those D1 schools, let's be honest, where they got the sororities and Greek roll and all that shit, those white girls bring it. They put out like that, just like anything, they just throw it around like frisbees. Easy. Easy. Yet we'll be the first ones to play victim, act like it never even happened. Like they didn't choose, like, you know, well, I was drunk. I mean, like everybody in there drunk. Everybody in there. The guys are drunk. Guys are drunk too. Guys, when they're drunk, they get victimized as well. But you go, again, this is a white woman tactic. White women do this shit. Be easy as hell. Like, you don't even have to have game and you can pull a lot of them. Just sleep with you at the drop of a dime. But now, when they get to a certain age, they want to flip the narrative. They want to flip script, bro. Oh, he did this to me. They're men or so. Like Melyssa Ford, she's talking about, see this, she talked about a story about an older woman that was married for about 30-something years, and apparently she was being drugged by her husband and subjected to sexual violations from other men. Like her husband was allowing other men to take advantage of her. I don't know, man. But she uses the most extreme example to make her point. to make the point that that guys are just out here taking advantage of women. Use the most extreme example. Now, I get it. There are some legitimate creep balls out here that are doing some sick stuff. But to act like that's the norm. No, the norm is a lot of women are choosing these guys. The norm is a lot of women are just throwing it out there. Just throwing it around. And white women in particular are the main ones that are really trying to flip the narrative. Like most other women, like you don't see this. Like you don't see, it's interesting. Think about it. You don't see black women, Asian women, Hispanic women really leaning into the, oh man, men are these crazy, I don't know, beasts and they're just monsters popping out of the bushes, just taking it from us, just taking it. No, your guys are just throwing it around. You guys are choosing. See, Melyssa Ford in that video, she's like, see, this is why women choose the bear. No, you chose dick. Your whole life, you chose dick. See, there's this little trope going around or something that, oh, would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear? And a lot of women, they were choosing the bear because they say bears, they don't really do the same amount of harassing people that men do. So they rather choose the bear because the bear will most likely run away. And to an extent, I can understand that. Like, listen, I'm all for animals over people. I'm a misanthrope. I don't like people in general. Men, women, I don't like people. I'm not playing I'm riding for the guys. I'm biased for the guys, or I'm biased for the girls. I don't give a shit. Black, white, gay, straight, Jewish, whatever sort of categories and labels you can think of. Short, tall, ugly, fat, skinny, don't care. I don't like people. I gotta fix this. I gotta figure out a way to keep this damn light on. But yeah, bro, I don't like people. So I understand the whole concept of choosing animals over people. But again, let's be real here. Melyssa Ford, your whole life, you didn't choose the bear. You chose men. You chose sex. You chose dick. That's what it is. And I'm sorry to be rather raunchy, but I have to say it like this explicitly. I mean, like all these girls, these women, they live their lives raunchy. Melyssa Ford, she was all about raunchiness, all about lecherousness and salaciousness. Now, she wants to act like she's never even said the word penis before. Wants to act like she's never even had sex. Oh, it's so nasty. Now that I'm older, I don't even want that. I don't even want that. It don't matter. Your whole life, you showed as hell wanted it, though. You show as hell wanted it. You can't flip script now. You just can't erase all that shit that happened. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like I said, I get it, man. Sometimes, women sometimes are victims. Like I said this in another video. It's one thing to be victimized, but when you're going to actively put yourself in the danger zone. Melyssa Ford's whole career, she put herself in the danger zone. It's like, let's just say a woman, right? She's at the bus stop and she's minding her business. She just got off work, just came from the library, and out of nowhere, a guy just randomly attacks her while she's going to her car and just, violates her. That's wrong. You know what I mean? She just came out of work and she's in a more or less safe, let's just say safe environment, right? Just coming from the library or something. A situation like that, it's like, man, I totally feel for that woman, A person should just be able to go to the library, go to the car, go home, man. They should feel safe, especially, let's just say it was in broad daylight, right? Let's just say that. But when you go into the danger zone, you're in these clubs, you're around a bunch of rappers, athletes, and it's nighttime in clubs, everybody's drinking, thugs are around. Hood rats are around. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. You put yourself in the danger zone. See, it's like, let's just say there's a lion's den, right? If a lion just jumps out and attacks you, all right, man, well, that's crazy. I feel for you. But if you jump inside the lion's den, dude, yeah, it's kind of hard to have empathy for you because you keep jumping in the danger zone. Listen, I'm all for trying to help people and protect people if I can. But man, you got to try to help me by trying to help you. You got to try to help yourself first. You can't make it harder on me by, putting yourself in the danger zone. It's kind of like you hear those guys talking about, yeah, man, hear things about, oh yeah, would you fight for a woman? Would you not fight for a woman? Listen, I don't have a problem fighting for a woman. It just depends on the situation. If a woman is just going around provoking fights with people and putting me in a bad spot, like, man, hell no, I ain't fighting for her. Get the fuck out of the way. Get the hell away from me. Hell away from me. I ain't fighting for nothing. But if a woman is, let's just say, minding her business, she's around me, and a guy just walks up to us and grabs her or something, yeah, I'll fight for her, because she's not purposely or intentionally trying to put me in a awkward situation, a very dangerous situation. Sometimes things just happen, right? Sometimes trouble finds you. That's just life. But I gotta at least know you're doing your best to at least try to avoid the trouble. Whereas Melyssa Ford, now you see, you get my point here. Women like Melyssa Ford, Amber Rose, Gloria Velez, they actively chased trouble. They chased the danger. They lived for it. They loved it. They did. Now, for Gloria Velez, to an extent, I feel for her because I heard about her background. She had it rough. Like I said, I understand the gray area. Sometimes women, they have to do what they have to do to survive out here. But again, Melyssa Ford, what's your excuse? You didn't come from a rough background. You come from fucking Canada, bro. You come from fucking Canada, dude. I'm gonna be playing this back and be so annoyed that I gotta keep turning this ignition on and off, on and off. But I'll get it straight eventually. We're gonna get it straight eventually. But right now, I just gotta get this off of my chest, out of my head. But I get it, man. Sometimes, you gotta do what you gotta do. But, yeah, that's just all I want to say, man. Melyssa Ford, all it is flipping the script, flipping the narrative. Your whole life, you lived for that life. You were about the raunchiness. You were about, you felt empowered. Now she's trying to diss rappers, act like, oh, they ain't nothing. Oh, and then she talks about, I was raised with culture, and I was raised with country music, and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. You like dick. That's what you like. That's all you're worth. You know what I'm saying? That's all you ever promoted. When I look at Melyssa Ford, and like I said this in another video, man. I was a young teenager. She was a lot of people's crushes, man. I went through a lot of socks thinking about Melyssa Ford. You know what I mean? For real. But seriously, though. And she enjoyed that kind of stuff. She lived for it. She enjoyed knowing that guys were thinking about her. That young teenagers were rolling around in their beds, yanking one out thinking about her. She enjoyed it. She got off to it. But now she wants to flip the narrative. Oh, they're sexualizing me. They're this and that. Like, what the fuck, dude? Again, she's half white. Her white mother trained her well. And again, I'm not trying to say, listen, we're just generalizing here. Every group, every label has a positive and a negative. White women, there are some positives about white women too. I'll save that for another video, just so people won't say, oh, you're just doing that white women. No, white women, they have positives over other women as well. I'll talk about that in another video down the line. But from this video, I'm talking about the negative side. I'm just talking about the flip side. Just like black guys, there are a lot of negative downsides of the black stereotypes, But again, another video. I'm just talking about this one, this particular situation. Melyssa Ford, man, come on, dude.
I am so content, dare I say happy, and a lot of men seem to have their panties in a bunch.
Yes.
It's the decentering of men. Women have decentered men and really started to focus and enjoy their lives without feeling like there's a penance for it or you're gonna get the lonely cat lady label. Don't threaten me with a good time. Men have dangled marriage in front of us like a carrot, since that is the thing that they feel like is the ultimate goal for us. And that is the pressure that society has put on us. It is no longer the truth. I wake up to unconditional love from my puppies, and they bring me so much joy, the gift that life is. And every single day I wake up excited about how I get to plan and think about how I'm going to enjoy this gift. It's a wonderful thing. So now I'm planning all kinds of travel through Europe and Africa with friends that love me and meeting up with friends that love me in other parts of the world. And that's just, it makes me just so happy and so pleased. What about my life seems like there is something missing? If you think that my life is like is all of this is just auxiliary. All of this is just accessory until like a man finds me and claims me and walks me down the aisle. Are you insane? Are you insane? That's just weird. That's just weird. I love my life. I really, really, really do. And I just don't have to justify it to anybody. I don't need to convince anybody at all. If you're not convinced, I don't care. I really don't, So that's where things sit with me, girl. She's trying to convince other women to, follow in her path and not have babies and not get married. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. Like I said, whatever floats your boat, go ahead and do that. But for the women who are having difficulty with societal expectations contradicting what they feel in their heart of hearts is just not for them. That's all I'm here to do, is to show you how wonderful it is over here. Oh, well, she's older. She never found a man. Honey, I found so many. Do you know how many times I was engaged and ran for my life? Like, oh, well, you should have had a better picker. Child, good night, okay? So many of you are trash. I'm sorry. Like, what the... Like, I left my grays in because guess what? I like them. Sometimes I cover them. Sometimes I don't, because I don't give a shit. And there will be people who say, oh my God, look at her. She's aging. I'm turning 50. Yes, I'm aging. Look, it's not that tight anymore. I don't give a... I love it. I love it. I'm sorry if this makes you mad, but I love it. I love aging. But if you want some advice from a woman who has lived an extraordinarily full life, maybe I'm the one. In no way, shape, or form am I upset because I never got married and I never had kids. What part of my life seems like it's empty when I'm planning, like you said, a not just multi-country, multi-continent trip with my friends? I have friends around the globe. I'm going to meet up with them in Madagascar and Tanzania and Seychelles and Luxembourg, spin the globe, try and find the countries I'm even talking about right now. That's where I'm going. And guess what? I'm funding it on my own because I can. I think I'm going to go where I'm loved. I think I'm going to go where I'm loved. And that is advice for everybody. Go where you're loved. Go where you're loved.
Get real. Everybody sees through this shit. You're miserable. That's what you are. You're miserable. She's trying to convince people that she's so happy. She ain't happy. I'm happy. I'm traveling the world. I've seen that no one cares, dude. No one cares. Like, first of all this, I travel the world shit. Let me tell you something. There's only, so many places you could go before it's like, all right, whatever. Traveling, after a while, that gets kind of stale. You know what I mean? Every once in now and then again, okay, see another country. But if that's all you're talking about, I went here, last week I was here, last week I was there. It's like, after a while, bro, it's like, it's not fun anymore, man. All you're doing is just, it gets boring. Especially when somebody like her, who has the money to pretty much see, she probably saw everything she wanted to see anyway. You know what I mean? So after a while, I would imagine it gets kind of like, eh. But again, she's trying to convince people that she's happy. I'm happy. I'm so glad that you guys think I'm miserable. Well, good, because you are. You know what I'm saying, bro? You are. You're very miserable. You're not convincing anyone of anyone. You know what I'm saying? She's trying that reverse psychology bullshit. It ain't gonna work, bro. That reverse psychology shit ain't gonna work, bro. It ain't gonna work, bro. It ain't working, but that's all I gotta say, man. This woman is cracked. She has cracked. And the thing is, if she hates men so much, she's trying to twist and paint this narrative to bring everybody on board, all the women on board, because she's miserable. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't want to get married, all right, I'm not big into marriage either. And if you don't, fine. But if you don't want to deal with men, fine. But just keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Why the hell are you always talking about relationships? So you got to be careful, dealing with women that are always talking about relationships. What's funny? It's always the women that are obsessed with men, love sex, can't get enough of men, talking about they hate men. You know what I mean? The main women that are always talking about they don't like men be the main women staying pregnant. Main women always got a new boyfriend, but you don't like men. Don't like men, but you're always talking about men. Don't like men, but you're always talking about relationships. Don't like men, but you always done that. That's all her podcast is about. Even in other videos or interviews that I've seen about it, that's all this woman is about, is men, relationships, sex. So at this point, I'm like, man, Melyssa Ford, if you ain't about getting naked or showing some skin, get in a bikini or something, shit, why you talking? Keep your mouth shut. At least, I mean, that's how I look at it. At this point, I'm like, man, unless she ain't taking off some clothes or whatever, I don't even want to watch a Melyssa Ford video at this point. Because it's all the same, bro. Her talking about men. Get out of here, dude. You loved it. You don't choose the bear, you choose men. Certainly in your younger years, during your younger years. Nowadays, who knows? I still don't think you choose the bear. You're just pretending like you choose the bear. It's like reverse psychology. It's like when they say, oh, I don't like that person, but then all they do is think about that person. You know, oh my God, I hate the attention. But they go out and they ask for the attention. They seek the attention. It's like, which one is it? You don't like the attention, but you're always putting yourself in this position to get the attention. Make it make sense, man. I don't know. But that's all I got to say. I'm going to keep this light off because I'm done. Until then, catch you later.